Okay, good evening, people listening in. Been waiting for this one for a while, man. I'm joined by my bro, DT. What's going on, man? You right?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been about 4 months in the waiting, isn't it?
I know. 4 months in the waiting, a long time. Obviously, this pandemic and lockdown's not made it any easier. But yeah, we're at the stage now where we've got a lot to talk about. A hell of a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I wonder what you want to talk about. Go on.
You wonder. Right. So you mentioned 4 months. So, 4 months ago, you played your last game in the season, I believe, obviously before this whole lockdown free happened. It was against Baresi. Now, from a neutral point of view, it was a crazy game, an absolutely crazy game. Obviously, I knew the history between you two anyway. And let's just say it didn't end the way I thought it would end. Let's put it that way, because I was expecting.
It didn't end.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was expecting to see 90 minutes worth of football, but I only got to see about 70.
Yeah.
But just now everything's been publicized and your video's out, my video's out, and I don't know if the other video's going to come out. Now I suppose we can talk about it, what's happened. But let's talk about the game first, anyway, before we talk about what's happened off the back of it. So, on the run-up to the game, obviously, you was told that, he's pretty much DT Bielsa, he's coming out and scouting people and stuff. Yeah. And then, obviously, you come to the game now, and then what was the thoughts like when you come into the game?
Do you know what the thing is? I've said this to you already. The only reason why I was at a Baresi game beforehand was because they were playing AFTV, and I didn't even realize they were playing Baresi. I went there to wind up Robbie and a few others. We're in the process of recording our Blood Brothers 3 series and everything else. So I just thought it would be a little bit funny to turn up to one of their games again, being the fact that I used to be their manager and all of the fallout of what happened and everything. That was it. I got there and I was like, they're playing Baresi. Cool. And at the time when I went to watch, our fixture against Baresi had not actually been published. We didn't know when we were playing them or if we were going to play them, whether seasons were going to be stopped or whatever. So I was like, look, I'll get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So watched the game, had a bit of a laugh, watched it, come away from there with more of an idea of what Baresi, were about. They won the game. They beat AFTV convincingly. I was able to see who I felt their danger players were, where their weak links were. And then I think a couple of weeks later, the fixtures for December time were released, and lo and behold, we had Baresi. So we planned for the game just as we do with any other team. And we went out and done what we've done to every other team this season on the pitch, and that's win. And, at the end of the day, there was a lot of talk before the game, but it was on both sides, and it wasn't anything that crossed the line. It was all, bits of banter, this, that, the other. And it was part and parcel of football. There was no harm done. Before the game, I met up with the manager, shook his hand. We had a bit of a laugh. And, we both wished each other luck and made the best team win. And then obviously things, went a little bit left on the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It felt like there was a lot of tension in the game on their side in particular.
Yeah.
And I think that when you look at the highlights back, there was one incident in the first half where one of my players, Jermaine, was down by the touchline right in front of the camera, and he'd gone to make a tackle. It was just a foul. No issues at all. The player that went down got up. It was just a simple foul. Jermaine is just literally standing there, and one of their players has walked over and just literally pushed him over for no reason, like move out of the way. And we're all like, whoa, hold on a minute.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that on your highlights.
Man. What's going on? So you knew there was a lot of testosterone around, and people were very and I think at that point as well, despite Baresi being 1-0 up in the game, they realized that they were not going to get their own way against us. They were playing against a team that could actually play football, and they were having to chase a hell of a lot in that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, that kind of maybe heightened their, their aggression, so to speak, and they maybe felt that they had to do something a little bit different to try and ruffle our feathers. But we just kept
when they took the lead, though.
Yeah, because it was a mistake by our goalkeeper, and that's very unlike him, because he's an exceptional goalkeeper, exceptional. And trust me, he's saved us a hell of a lot more than he's ever, done something like that. But he said that the ball moved, and it was really weird how it happened. And I take his word for it. It was one of those, he got caught off guard. It was a bit of a toe punt. And yeah, and it was weird for us because it was the first time that, like, this season that we'd actually been behind. We've never been behind this season.
Oh,
ever.
really?
Yeah, so it was the first time. So for me, I looked at it and I went, all right, cool. Now let's see what we're made of. And within 5 minutes, I was like, we'll be fine. We'll win this game. I could see what we were doing. We dictated the play, the possession. We were pulling them out of places. We were making them really uncomfortable. They then had to resort to route one football, which is long ball. And then we started mixing it up. We were sucking them in to think that we were going to play out from the back, and then we were springing it with one ball over the top. And then when they would drop deep and think, all right, we're going to play over the top, we would just play football.
Yeah.
So, we can do both sides of the game. And yeah, I felt it was a very evenly contested game in the first half. And, we went 3-1 up, deservedly so. And then literally on the halftime whistle is when the very first incident all happened and it kicked off. And yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about that, because again, like, obviously we was all over the one side, us, Baresi, all over the one side. And then obviously something happened over that side. Obviously it resulted in their left back, their captain, kicking out at, was it Jermaine or was it the other player?
No, it was kicked out at Kaz.
Kicked out at Kaz, sorry.
If there's one player in our team you don't want to kick out, it's Kaz. He must have looked up and thought, oh, what have I done? But look, at the end of the day, I never saw the actual kick out, because where Kaz was standing, his back was kind of like obscuring, their captain on the floor. We were like, something's gone on. What's happening here? And then I knew for Kaz to react, I knew something had happened or been said or whatever it was. I didn't know. And then we were like, right, we were all shouting over, move away, don't get involved, let the referee sort it. And then their number 4 from nowhere run about 40 odd yards from wherever he was and decided to get involved, go to grab one of my players round the neck. And at that point, it all started going off. So there was a Baresi official and me, we both went onto the pitch. And you've shown the images, you can clearly see me going like this. And I'm waiting like this, and I'm saying to my players, move out of the way. And I even said to the referee, I apologized to the referee for going onto the pitch. And he said, you shouldn't be doing that, but thank you for trying to, diffuse the situation. And it was kind of, he was thanking me, but at the same time saying, look, don't do it again. You can't be doing that. It's not YouTube football anymore. It's proper football, you know what I mean? So in that respect, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have gone onto the pitch, and I leave them to deal with it. But I was doing what I felt was right at that time. And that's where the first incident happened. And the number 4 that had already run over and, grabbed our player and everything, he then confronted me, said something to me, and I stopped to look at him and say, what? And that's when he stuck his head on me. And I said at the end, and then it all just went off from there. And then obviously, they were fuming. They were like, DT needs to get an Oscar. Listen.
Even I said it. I was like, come on, bro.
Hey, listen.
Right, boy, you made a meal out of it.
Hey, listen.
Come on.
Listen. That was right in my temple.
Get out of here, man. Get out
painful,
of here.
Man. Painful. But the funniest thing, is that obviously because all the reports and everything's done, he wasn't actually sent off for that.
Okay.
He was not sent off for that. It was because he ran 40 yards and went to grab someone round the neck, who then ultimately knocked into Jermaine, and then Jermaine went and stood on the referee's foot and nearly sent him flying. So it was like a domino. It was like a domino thing. So at the end of the day, look, listen, man, he I don't know why he got involved. I have no idea why he got involved. It was just starting to diffuse. You know, their captain would have been sent off anyway because the linesman had seen it and she was going to be reporting it to the referee of what had been seen. So that was just a you know, simple case of what happened. And then obviously then the referee had to deal with the fallout of all of that. First thing he did was send off the captain, then brought over the number 4, sent him off. And then we had another delay for about 5 minutes because he wanted to try and fight me. And he was trying to, you know, get past his players and get to me. My players just told me to move to one side. We went off. And I was like, listen, man, control your player at the end of the day. It is what it is. And then Kaz got booked. I actually thought Kaz getting booked was quite harsh because all he did was stand over him and say, like, what are you doing? Why are you kicking me? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I thought that it was actually harsh because he never did anything and he moved away from the situation immediately. Jermaine got booked. And that was it. And then they had 2 yellow cards, 2 red cards. And one of the yellow cards was actually the guy that had earlier on pushed Jermaine over.
Okay, because I didn't see that. So, just for clarification, the guy that got the red card, the guy, the number 4, he didn't get sent off for pushing his head into. I'm not going to use the word headbutt, but pushing his head into. He actually got sent off.
No, because the referee saw the aftermath of it, but didn't see the incident. Because so much going on. So when they done their reports and everything, the referee was saying about, you know, what he saw. And what he saw was the incident in front of him unfolding and the player running in from his left-hand side. So he could see all that. But everything else, although he was there, just a million, you had to be there to understand that when there's 1,000,001 things going on around you, it's very difficult to see everything and whatever. So at the end of the day, they did what they did. They had 2 players sent off. And, we went in at half time. And I had a decision to make because I sat with the players and I said to them, I said, look, we got 2 ways of doing this now. Tensions are high at the moment. There was a lot of people, spectators involved on their side and all the other stuff. I'm like, do we really go out there in the second half and absolutely annihilate them? 11 against 9. And we couldn't if we wanted to. And I was like, you know what? Be sensible. You get the opportunities, be ruthless, first and foremost. Do your job. And I said, but don't go out there and take the piss. Don't go out there and start, you know, showboating, doing stupid things to antagonize them. Just play football. Pass, move. Tire them out. They got 9 men. You know, and that's what we did for the majority of that second half. We were just passing the ball around, letting them have the ball when they wanted to have it, knowing that they wouldn't break us down. And
I must say there was an element of showboating in the second half. I mean, I did catch that.
Mate, that's not even showboating as a one-off. I'm telling you, he does that every single game without fail. His little Michael Jackson spin and trust me, that is nothing unusual. He does it in training. He does it in matches. I'm telling you, I reckon he does it in his sleep. That's him. That is him. That's Steve to a T, man. But we just kind of like just go through the motions sort of thing. Just kind of like just get the job done. Let's get out of here. Take the 3 points, top of the league, done. And then we scored the 4th goal. And then that's when it just went off.
Pretty much. So you scored the 4th goal, game over. And literally after that, seen you walk over to my man, the guy that got sent off. And I think you're standing by the crane, obviously filming the game. And you've just gone over there just to kind of say, let bygones be bygones, basically.
Yeah, because what happened was he wasn't behind me. Where this was all positioned was by our technical area. So everyone's got a bit of clarity as to where it actually was. and he wasn't there. And the referee even said within reports and stuff like that, that they noticed that when the fourth goal went in, he had moved from his position, which was a long way away, to right behind us. So I see him behind me. Now, the guy that he was standing next to, I don't know him personally, but he's somebody that knows a mutual friend of mine and was having banter in the week leading up to the game, knowing they were with me and leaving voice notes on their WhatsApp so they would play to me, and I was leaving voice notes back, just like bantering off between each other. Yeah, you're going to get slapped up at the weekend. We're going to beat you. Just normal stuff. Do you know what I mean? Laughing.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, but I know him, like I know who he is, and he knows who I am.
Yeah.
He was there, and I went over and I just turned around and I said, listen, man, I said, life's too short for this, man. Just squash this, man. I goes, it's silly. And he had two players standing next to him, and to show that they didn't even realize what was going to happen, there was like, you've seen everything, so you know they were standing there, and at no point did they feel like something was going to happen. It was threatening. They were just stood there like, all right, cool. Here's two men that are going to talk and sort this out like adults. Do you know what I mean? And then I was stood there, and I even had a hand in my pocket. And I was just saying to him, come on, man. I said, let's just leave it at that now. Life's too short and that. And as I sort of turned my head to the left, he's gone bang, punched me in the face. And if you look at the reaction of the two players instantly, they went like, even they were like, whoa, like, and went to grab him, were like, whoa, like, even they didn't expect it, because there was nothing to provoke it. Nothing at all to provoke it. And do you know what I mean? And it was just, yeah, from that moment, it literally went off. It went off. And, you know, I told the league and when I had my hearing and everything else, that I used a few choice words after that. I said, I've just been punched in the face. I said, what do you want me to do? Give him a cuddle.
Yeah. That's the last thing you're going to do is just like,
you know. So, yeah, that you know, and then like when the incident was going on, I don't know what was happening with the supporters that were supposedly fighting and what was happening, or I don't know. And then where our camera was positioned, a lot went on to the right of the camera where it doesn't pan round to. It was kind of side on, but behind it. So it never caught any of it. I don't know what was going on. Yeah. And, you know, I just sat there, and when I watched some of the footage back and I looked, in particular, the number 4, who was the main aggressor in everything. And, you know, the Baresi manager was trying to pull him away. And every time they pulled him away, something would happen. And then he would have to go off to try and sort something. And then he would sneak off round the back and be trying to get involved and get towards me. And then that's when he then took a swing at one of my players' dads.
Yeah.
And we've all seen the video evidence. It's not nothing that we've hidden. It's out there in the public domain. And I just sit there and I think to myself, wow, like, yeah, we get heated at football. Me more than most. People have seen me on AFTV, God knows how many times, how heated I get over football and stuff. But to the point where you're committing an assault, you're actually like assaulting someone. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you've seen the footage and everything else. These people are lucky that I don't have it within me to want to go and hand that footage to certain authorities and things like that, because that's not me. Because it's an open and shut case. There's no hiding place. You know, that could ruin his whole, I don't know what he does for a living or what he works as, but that could lose him his job, livelihood. I don't know if he has children, whatever it is. But I'm not going to do that to someone. I'm not gonna go down that route and take it there, despite what he did. I'm just gonna, like I've already said, I would never accept an apology off him. I would never look to, you know, make amends or like make peace or anything. As far as I'm concerned, it was sly, it was cheap, and he got the punishment he deserved from the FA. But he should be very thankful that the only punishment that he's got is from the footballing authorities and not anybody else.
Yeah. So has anyone from Baresi actually reached out to apologise or whatever since?
This is the thing, yeah, and this is what annoys me the most, right? I'm not going to reveal who they are, but I've had players from Baresi message me and apologise to me, and they said to me, like, I'll be real about it. They've said that I should have got an Oscar for the headbutt, right? And that's cool. But then they said the incident where you got hit, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Completely and utterly unacceptable. And, you know, that fair play to him in that respect. But the one thing that really annoys me, or I wouldn't say annoys me, but it's really kind of like disappointing, is that all of this could have just been stopped in a sense that if the manager just picked up the phone and rung me and apologized. He knows my number. He knows how to get in touch with me. All he had to do was ring me and say, in terms of that specific incident, I apologize. On behalf of my club and my player, I apologize for what happened, because a manager should not have to, you know, deal with that on the sideline at a game of football. But he hasn't.
So it's the players that have reached out, not the manager, you're saying? Yeah.
And the manager knows me, and he knows me before we've even played Baresi, because he's officiated one of our games.
Yeah, I remember you saying that on the day.
Do you know what I mean? And the manager even come up to me before the game and said to me, "Don't you remember me?" And I was like, I can't think where. And he was like, I was doing one of your games in Blood Brothers and I was linesman. And I was like, you. I was like, you the one that I was shouting at because you kept giving off. Just having a bit of banter with him. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, so look, at the end of the day, yeah, if one of my players had done what they did unprovoked and I saw what I saw, you know, if someone put the video footage to me of the incident and it was the other way around, then I would have apologized on behalf of my club, for my club, for the incident. And I'd have to take a long, hard look as to whether that player would actually play for me ever again.
Yeah.
Because there's a line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. This, you know what I mean? It's gone over the lines of football and, you know, entertainment and banter and stuff like that into pretty much like, it's almost turning into UFC. The fact that, you know, you're getting punched, your parents getting punched, and all the rest of it. Now it's gone beyond that. Do you know what I mean? You can say you're shit and you're that and all the rest of it. Cool. That's kind of part and parcel with grassroots football, innit? But when it starts getting involved with all that sort of stuff, then I'm like, miss me with that stuff. Like,
no,
if you're gonna swing, you might as well put the gloves on and do it in a boxing and do it where it's actually meant to be, not on a pitch.
Like, look, like I said to you, yeah. Like, I know there were cameras around and plenty of cameras caught it, but if you were to do that on the street, outside a nightclub, anything like that, I'm telling you, you're getting arrested.
Yeah.
If you ain't got a record, you're gonna have a record. Yeah, there's the possibility of, you know, prison or whatever it might be. Yeah, there's no getting away from it. So, like I said, he should be very grateful that, you know, the video footage only ended up in one place, and that was UK. You know, and I was asked questions. I was asked if I want to do certain things, and I said no, I don't want to do nothing else, because, you know, maybe it's my old age now, but as a father and somebody that's got children as well, and I know how much children can depend on family and, you know, the father or whatever it might be. And I don't know his life or his circumstances. So I don't know whether he's the breadwinner, whether he's providing for his children. I don't know whether he's, you know, if he's got children, he's on, you know, with the mother or not. And there might be an order in place where he sees them at a certain period, and this could end up having his children taken away. Do you know what I mean? So there's a million and one things that were going through my mind. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm not going to do that, because it's not the children's fault if he has got children. You know, it's not the wife's fault if he's got a wife. Whatever the other circumstances are, because it's more than just him that would suffer.
Yeah. I hear
And
that.
they're not responsible for that. They're not the reason why, you know, he did what he did. So the way I am, I'm just like, nah, allow it, leave it at that. They don't need to be involved in it. Let the FA deal with it. Whatever punishment they throw at him, he'll deserve it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it to you. Do you take any acknowledgement or any responsibility for what happened? Because as you said earlier, you ran to the pitch. You said maybe that's the wrong thing to do. Is there anything else that you kind of learned from that, or take any responsibility for what happened?
I would have learned not to go on the pitch again and just let the officials and everybody deal with it, you know. But like I said to, you know, the FA during the hearing and that, is that, you know, we've seen Premier League games where managers have run on the pitch when like incidents have happened. I said it was a reaction. And I said, and the camera clearly shows I was gesturing for everyone to move away. I wasn't running on the pitch to start a fight or whatever it was. I run on there to try and move everyone away because we just wanted to carry on the game. We had no reason to be getting into scuffles. We were 3-1 up and completely dominating the game. So, you know, and that's probably the one thing that I would do differently, you know, in that respect, because I've got to remember that I'm a manager and I'm doing things not via YouTube now, but in actual football. There's a code of conduct. There's respect. And, you know, there's lines you don't go over. And I guess, you know, running on the pitch is one of those lines you can't go over. So in future, I'll know. Do I regret, you know, trying to speak to him? No, because I was offering him my hand. And man to man, I was saying to him, and you got to remember, this was over an hour, about an hour after the incident. We've all been there in life where we've been fuming about something.
In the heat of the moment as well.
Yeah, heat of the moment. And then you've calmed down, you know. And then what shocked me as well is that, because initially, obviously, I don't know nothing about him. But then when I found out that he was like 30 odd years old, I was like, wow. I goes, you can't even use the excuse that you're like an 18, 19-year-old boy. Like, you're a fully grown man. Like, you should know the difference. And I came over there to put my hand out to you to say, listen, allow it. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, cool.
Do you feel like he was kind of reacting to the figure of that, what he sees? Because as you can hear in the video, he says, don't think this is AFTV or Arsenal Fan TV. Do you think they're reacting to that and not DT the manager? Because I feel like the two of you are split now, isn't it? There's DT on AFTV, who, you know, rants, raves, all the rest of it, passionate. And then obviously now there's DT, the non-league manager now. So do you think like, not just only him, but other people to see, okay, he's DT, I'm taking it DT as that's AFTV.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? The thing is that what we've noticed this season is that we've become everyone's, you know, target, everyone's cup final. And that's not a big-headed thing. It's the fact that, you know, we bring a lot behind us. We've got a lot of, you know, following, in the sense of like people that take interest and notice, and all our games are filmed. And this is a chance for people to showcase their self, to be able to come around and say, yeah, we beat DTFC. See DT sulking over there, getting angry, the mug, part and parcel of the game. I take that. I take it. It's cool. You know, I've had players that have scored against, you know, us, and the first thing they've done is run over to where I'm standing to celebrate in front of me.
What, knee sliding? Yeah.
And I just sit there and I take it, and I'm like, listen, if you're gonna give it, boy, you better be able to take it, because I'm gonna come over and celebrate in your face when my boys put the ball in the net. You know, before this incident, never had anything in that respect. And, you know, we've had things that have been said and, you know, to-in and fro-in and this, that, and the other, but nobody's crossed that line. Things have been said on social media, but nothing ever goes over that, you know. And I think the one telling thing is that in 9 matches we've played this season, our opposition have received 9 red cards in 9 matches.
9 red cards.
And if I'm right, I think 8 or maybe even 9 of them, around about 8 of them, are all for violent conduct.
hold on. Like, if that's happening, I'm looking at it from both sides of the coin. Is there something in it from your side of you as well?
No, because the video footage is there for everybody to see. We don't hide it. We don't ever mask over what we want, people to see. People have asked me why I've not uploaded like the incident of like him punching me and stuff like that. And it's like, well, because firstly, I don't need to feed the trolls. And secondly, it won't look good for him, first and foremost. So it's not about me. It's about putting a line under it now. The FA have dealt with it. So we put a line under it. It's done, as far as I'm concerned. You have to serve your punishment. You have to serve your suspension, pay your fines, and be done with it.
What was the final outcome to everyone for all?
They've got 3 players banned for a total of 18 matches.
Wow.
Yeah. So what was quite like, this is the thing, and this is what I found really strange, because obviously they had 2 players sent off.
Yeah.
Now, when we provided our video evidence, Baresi provided their video evidence, and they were counter-arguing, saying that, my goalkeeper had slapped one of their players and all this and that. Every one of my players has been found not guilty. Okay. Absolutely nothing within the evidence that was provided on both sides shows any accusation to be true. But what it did do was actually incriminate another one of the Baresi players, and he ended up with a further 4-game suspension because of video evidence that was not seen at the time. I didn't even see it.
What happened?
I don't know. All I know was that, because obviously they had the 2 players sent off, but then they received a further disciplinary, measure. And there was 3 of them.
What did he do?
No idea. I don't know what the FA saw or what it was that they pinpointed. And I don't want to, speculate without knowing fully. I just know what the actual punishment was. And the punishment's there for anyone to see. You can go to any club on any FA website and check up suspensions and stuff like that. It's there in the public domain. But, he got 4 games. The other got 4 games and one got 10 games.
So I'm guessing the captain, he's the one who got 4 games, because obviously he's not going to get 10 games for what he did. So 10 games.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10 games, number 4.
So, well, number 4, he got 7 games for the assault and 3 games for the red card, for the original red card. So the only thing that annoys me throughout the whole process is obviously the Baresi captain, the one that was sent off. And I'd have more respect for him if he just turned around, held his hands up and admitted it and moved on. But it's the constant trying to divert away from the reality. And he's told 2 different stories. He's gave an original story, which is that when Kaz challenged him, he stamped all over him, and he's been left with all these horrific injuries and everything else. And I was like, I've seen the foot, like they provided still images of these injuries.
Yeah.
Like, mate.
No? Live?
Mate.
What?
Mate. What's the best way of saying it? Is that
it's not common that DT's lost for words here. What's going on? You're right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the injuries would resemble, but it's like
you're trying to think of what you're lying. Don't kill me, bro. Don't kill me.
No, I'm trying to think of something. Like, I honestly think one of my youngest children, who's like 5 years old, could actually inflict worse injuries on me. Okay. Like, there was nothing there. It was 2 players coming together. Kaz was trying to shut down the ball. Yeah. He fell. Kaz was there. We've all seen the video evidence. Kaz has not stamped on him or done anything. When you play a game of football, there are normal, shall we say, wear and tear of playing football. You get marks and nicks, and
it's a physical game. It's a physical game.
Wow, do you know what I mean? And it's the most minute of marks. It's like, come on, man, really? Is this your defense? And you know, I've looked at that and I've gone, right, so that's your argument. And then the next bit that come out is that I see that he said that Kaz had grabbed hold of his foot and he was trying to free his foot away. And that's why it looked like he kicked him. And I was like, we've all got the video footage. It's there. Where, please enlighten me as to where he's grabbed your foot. Show me.
So what? Both sets of video footage. Because bearing in mind, obviously they were on the other side of the pitch. You was on, you know, the far side of the pitch. Both of it doesn't show that at all. Is that what you're saying?
There's nothing of the sort. Even our footage, we done a close up of it and slow mo, just to even show, and you can clearly see the kick out, the trajectory, and the way he actually thrusts his foot into him.
Yeah,
there's no holding of a foot. Kaz's hands are down the side of him.
Yeah,
he's standing over him with his hands down his side, looking at him like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
like where? What? I don't get where. I don't get where you've conjured up this like magical story. You know, do you go in your wardrobe and find Narnia? Like,
that's what.
But I don't get it. Where is all this magical kingdom come from? Where's all this magical stuff? You know, and this is the other thing. We released the video.
Yeah.
And he literally spent a whole evening commenting throughout the video and saying to people, oh, but there was another side to this story and you need to see the bit that was cut out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there like, are you still going on? Really?
I mean, look, the only way to solve that is to release the footage. Like,
release it. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. It was part of the investigation. I've seen it. They've seen mine. I've seen theirs. I've seen it. And I even said to him, if I find one of my players has punched someone, I will reprimand them myself. But I've watched it. I can't see anything. Honest to God, I can't see a thing. Nothing.
No violence, no slapping. Because the other one was the goalkeeper was saying that obviously he got slapped or something like that. Because I remember there's a line in it. He says, "I'm a big man. Like no one slaps me," or something along those lines.
Yeah. And like I've sat there and I've even said to her, I said, "Where's the slap?" You know, if you show me video evidence of one of my players slapping you, cool. I'll deal with that. Nothing, not a thing. Nobody's been slapped. And like I said, the FA have done a proper thorough investigation into it. 2 different hearings.
It's taken this long, obviously, so it must have been. You know what I mean?
We had to, because we had to clear our name from the involvement in the abandonment of the game. And we got our name cleared because everyone could see that we were not involved in the abandonment of the game. And we got what we wanted to clear our name. And we moved on from the incident. It's as simple as that, you know. And that's the thing. I put the video out. I was very fair in the fact that I left out certain bits which would have painted their club and their player in particular in a very, very, very bad light. Let's be real about it. You've seen the footage.
Yeah.
Know what it is.
I mean, I left out more violence in you. I didn't put anything. I didn't.
That's what I mean. I could have really, really added so much, but I didn't, because I wanted people to get the picture and get an understanding of what happened. But at the same time, I wanted to not detract away from the football. And I wanted everyone to ultimately remember that's why we're there, a game of football. So, you know, and obviously the dust has settled a lot in 3 months, you know, but what I don't like is, you know, the supposed captain of the team, who's meant to be the leader, the one that sets the example, going around and constantly commenting, you know, and then he starts getting all irate when I go and make a comment about him.
Well, what did you comment about him?
Well, because there's a video of him dressed as Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah?
So I just said, that, why are you dressed as Spider-Man? Is it because you believe your own web of lies?
You're gonna have me busted up, man.
Oh man.
I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to do my serious interview here. Like, what are you trying to do to me? I'm trying to be serious.
And that's it. That's all it is. That's literally it. So it was like at the end, and then he's like made a big thing of it on social media and saying to people, "How dare he? Look, he's commenting on a post that's, you know, for my school children because he's a PE teacher, isn't he?"
Oh, so he genuinely was a PE teacher.
Yeah, he genuinely is a PE teacher.
Oh, because in the video, yeah, I was like thinking, oh, you're trying to Ole bantering him, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, he's a PE teacher.
So
yeah,
wow,
yeah, he's like a poor version of Joe Wicks.
Oh
like,
wow. Wow, nah, man. Listen.
At the end of the day, like I said, yeah, if he would have had the respect to have at least said, you know what, I done wrong, I kicked out, I take my punishment, I move on. Nobody says a word, not a thing. It's the fact that he's constantly trying to, you know, justify it and come up with a reason as to why it happened. Yeah. And the reason is blaming somebody else constantly.
Yeah,
there's no accountability for his own actions.
No ownership.
No, I'm man enough to turn around and go, you know what, I did that wrong. I've sat here and said, I wish I never went on the pitch. I wish I did this differently. I can own up to my mistakes. But I've got no time for somebody that can't own up to what they've done wrong when it's there in front of a camera. Like, it's there right in front of you. Everybody's seen it. They can see what you did. Stop lying about it now. Just move on. Yeah. And then to make matters worse, I'm getting notifications, and I'm not talking one or two. I'm talking multiple notifications, yeah? Where one of my editors and people that run my social media stuff or whatever are going, what the hell's all this? And like, my man's literally must have gone through every person that's commented on the YouTube video, and he's replied to them. And the best thing is, he uses his real name on his real YouTube channel that he uses to the children at the school.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So you haven't even made a dodgy account just to say things so I don't know who you are. It's his full name. You may as well put your date of birth next to it.
Oh man.
Literally, and I'm not talking one or two lines. This is how you know he's a teacher, because he's wrote an essay. Every single one. It's like an essay. I'm honestly going to sit down with a bag of popcorn, and it's like reading a novel. I'm like, all right, let's go. Next comment. And I'm having a read, and I'm just sitting there like, is this guy serious?
Oh man, I mean, look, we've all got time. We're all under lockdown, so you know we've got time to go back and forth. It's good to get all this out in the open. I know you've got time. I see you responding.
You know what? I want to know, right? Because I know for a fact he's going to be watching this video. I know for a fact he won't be able to help himself. I just want to know that when he was writing all them comments out, was he wearing his Spider-Man outfit?
Oh man! Now, listen, loud Spider-Man, man. Spider-Man's sick, bro. Listen.
Hey, listen. Nothing wrong with Spider-Man. Love Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man still. Like, yeah. Shout out to them, man. Anyway, shout out to Baresi.
Listen, that's all it is, right? The last thing I'm gonna say on this incident, yeah. So obviously, I'm very clear what I could have done and what I could not, and what I didn't do. But if the manager of Baresi wants to ring me, message me, meet up with me when we're out of lockdown or whatever it is, and put a line under this once and for all, like men, then my door's open.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? But you know, the players, different matter.
Yeah.
But we'll do what we need to do the right way.
Okay, so only the manager can shake hands with you, not the captain, not number 4. Obviously, just the manager. Yeah.
I got no time for number 4 at all, and I've already made my point very clear. I've already done him a favor by, you know, keeping myself to myself and not opening my mouth about it. And he can just deal with his punishment, You know, it's more the fact that he took a swing at one of my players' dads.
Mm.
You know, I'm a big boy. I can handle myself. Do you know what I mean? We've all seen at the end of the day, I took the punch and I just rolled with it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a big boy. I can handle it, but there's just other things. You know what I mean? Like that for me just cross a line, which is why I've got no time for it. So, you know, move on. I don't need to say no more on the situation. You did what you did. You serve your punishment, and we move on.
But also to add as well is that you obviously got the 3 points as well. Forgot to add as well. So you got the 3 points.
Yeah.
So that is the main thing as well, because there was an argument in place that you couldn't get it.
Well, we got the 3 points after the season was even curtailed, and we still went through with the process of doing it. And I said it's out of principle. And I said, even though the points are irrelevant to us, I said we deserve those points. We earn those points. And we want to end this season sat where we belong, which is top of the table.
Mm-hmm.
And no one can deny, you know, what our statistics. No one can deny it. 8 games, 8 wins, 47 goals. You know, so
goal difference 43, mads.
Yeah, 43. So shout out to West Essex Reserves as well, man, because they've had a fantastic season in there. Second place. Never had the privilege of playing them yet. Yet. But they're a team that were also scoring a lot of goals in the league. So massive respect to them. Lymore Gardens as well. I think they had a very slow start to the campaign, which kind of put them, a little bit behind and trying to play catch up because they lost a couple of games. But they had a very steady end to the campaign, winning a lot of games. And, I think they're sitting 3rd place in the league. So respect to them as well. So.
Yeah, cool. Well, you mentioned those 2 teams, and obviously we've been talking about Baresi for the past 40 odd minutes or so. So that leads on to the next bit. So obviously lockdowns just kiboshed a lot of people's seasons and stuff, but a lot of leagues have been more proactive than others. No names, but this has come about off the back of it. So there's a competition which has 4 groups. Am I right in saying that this is the group of death? Only reason why I'm saying is because you and Baresi are in the same group once again. Petrogub is another team that you know as well. And then the 2 teams that you mentioned before, Lymore and West Essex, along with Rapid Chingford as well. So that is Group A out of the Essex Alliance League. So what's when you heard that?
Listen, when I see that draw, I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, either something dodgy's gone on at the league HQ and they've warmed up a couple of the balls and everything just so they know they're picking out. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, out of all the teams in there, I was like, Jesus Christ. But listen, at the end of the day, we respect everybody we play. We're not fearful of any team. We've played 2 of those teams in there with a goal scoring aggregate of 18 goals scored in 2 games and none conceded. So we beat Rapid Chingford 11-0 and we beat Petrogub 7-0. So, but we will approach those games exactly how we approach everyone. The 11-0 and the 7-0 never happened. Starts all over again. So we're going to have to be, fully on it. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to the challenge, man. Just waiting for the date to be set. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
all I'm saying is, listen.
I saw these pictures online. What's these pictures about as well? Are these different ones, or am I jumping the gun? But these are different ones. Ignore that. We'll talk about it in a minute. Let's talk about
they're different ones. They're fixtures as well. That's another cup competition that we're in.
All right. I jumped the gun on that one. This group of, I'm still calling it the group of death because the fact that someone's put you 2 in the same group again, like I'm not believing that. Come on, they must have heard everything that's gone on, and then they put you 2, and I mean DT, FC, and Baresi in the same group, and I thought let's do this again. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, someone must have done that. Sorry, man.
Mate, look, at the end of the day, yeah, what I will say is that obviously we're in the process of waiting for, you know, the fixture secretary to, you know, arrange everything, who plays where, what, and everything. What I will say is that I hope it's our home ground.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
I want to get them on a proper pitch and not a swamp. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'll wait for the dates to be released, and then then we can talk, and then we can look forward to part 2. Maybe what they should do as well is that maybe that before we actually play the 90-minute game, they should let us play the final 15 minutes from the first one.
So you're paying what, extra time already?
Yeah, just give us that little 15 minutes, and then
you know, that 15 minutes, don't you?
Yeah, and they've got to play with 9 players as well.
Oh, so, allow it, man. Allow it, man.
It's the same as that scenario. 9 man, 15 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Let's go. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to it, man. We're looking forward to playing Lymore Gardens and West Essex, because obviously we've not played them. So it's an opportunity to play 2 sides that we've not tested ourselves against. And yeah, we're looking forward to it, man. We're looking forward to it. So we've got a few surprises in store. Don't worry.
Oh, I bet you have indeed. What's the actual makeup of it as well? Is it like a Champions League sort of format, or what? Is it top 2 going through 3?
I'm waiting for the full, you know, like how it's actually panned out. But I think what it actually is because what they've done is that they've broken it down into categories of strength more than anything, because what they don't want is us to be playing a team from Division 4, for example.
Yeah.
They don't think it would benefit anyone. It wouldn't benefit us, and it wouldn't benefit another team that could be possibly on the end of an absolute battering.
Yeah.
So they've kind of put everybody in categories based on strength and league position and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I think that what happens with this, I think what will happen is that everybody plays each other once, and then the top 2 play it out in the final.
Oh, I see. So it's okay. So you're only going to play teams that are in your group, and that's it. Okay. I thought it might be top 2 go through from each.
No. So when you look at it, there's still going to be, everyone's still going to get like 6 games or so, something like that, 5-6 games.
Okay.
And, you know, I think one of the biggest issues, the reason why we didn't obviously, you know, continue the season was because the percentage wanted the season to continue.
Yeah.
They had to vote in that sense, but it was pitches.
Okay.
And that's it. A lot of teams, you know, in Division 2, 3, 4 and whatever, you know, they've either got facilities that are not opening, or they're at facilities that, you know, turn into cricket in May and things like that. So I understand it. It is the way it is, and you couldn't just let one division play and then say to the rest, "Now, sorry, you can't." It's either everyone or nobody. So yeah, we had to take it on the chin. We learned a lot. We're ready for whatever's thrown our way next, and yeah, this is the next one for us. It's an opportunity to try and, you know, finish the season winning something in one sense with this. And like I said, we won't take the games lightly. We're fully prepared for these games. Put it that way.
Yeah, make sure you bring the security down as well, man. Yeah, just make sure everything goes smoothly. We don't want nothing else happening. Just want to see some action on the pitch, and it stays there, innit?
Nothing doing, man.
That's what I'm saying. Leave it at that. But yeah, so the other graphic I brought up quite prematurely is this one here. So these are some tasty fixtures here: Dunstable Town, Colney Heath, Fosters as well, Hoddesdon Town, and St Margaret's Bury. So some really big fixtures here in the month of April. What's brought this along?
Well, the first 2 are friendlies, and the other 3 are part of the ESL Cup competition that's going on, the Essex Senior League, which is step 5. You know, they're doing the Len Cordell Trophy, who's recently passed away, and everything else. So Yeah, it's a tournament that's dedicated to him, and it's giving clubs an opportunity to play. Predominantly, every team in there is from the Essex Senior League, so Step 5. We've got no right, even like some people might think, to be even competing against these. It's the same league as #United, basically.
I was looking for them. They're not in it, no?
No, they weren't able to be in it for whatever reason. So we'll face # one day. We'll get that game on one day. One day we'll get that game on, man. But
you've been chasing it for a minute still, because I remember the last time I spoke to you before then against Stillman, you was like, "Yeah, me and Spencer."
Yeah. Mate, I know. Listen, Spencer knows one day it's going to happen, and I hope it happens in a league format. So basically, I knew that they were doing the competition because there was talk about it on social media and stuff like that. Me being me, kind of just went to them and said, "Yeah, can my team come into it?" sort of thing. And they were like, "Well, the process is it's an invitational cup, so obviously everyone gets invited, but they then had to obviously invite all the Step 6 clubs to see who wanted to play and everything else." And then obviously a lot of Step 6 clubs didn't want to play or respond or whatever it might be, and it opened the door. And because I had put my name in the hat, I got given the opportunity. And the team's been given the opportunity. We're the lowest ranked team in the whole entire tournament.
Wow.
By standing and everything. So for a team that's like at our level, and when I say this at our level, I don't mean in terms of our players and the players that we've got. I mean in terms of our status of where we are in the league and just starting out. For us to be involved in something like this is massive. And it's a big opportunity for us to, ultimately get some respect. Get some respect, because we are met with certain, comments along the way that we're just a YouTube team and all this kind of stuff. The similar kind of thing that # were, having to go through, even to this season when # were in the FA Cup. They're on an unbelievable run in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And what they did this year when they went on that cup run is that they put the Essex Senior League on the map, and they were showcasing their league. Everybody should have been looking at that and going, "Wow, that's all of us." You know what I mean? But when there were advertisements, and I remember when they got their game was advertised to be on BBC, and it was picked as one of the cup games to be on it. And I see a lot of the comments from some people, and it was like, "Who's #? What's a #? That's not a real team. They're YouTube. And I'm just like, give them the respect they deserve."
Yeah. Listen, I've heard that a couple of times. Like we had me and Kobe had the manager Jay on, and he was saying things that Spencer was getting on early doors about like you said, what's #? It's not a place, but then he's saying like, "Where's Port Vale?" or do you know what I mean? Like things like that.
Yeah, and we've had the same thing. We've had the same thing. We've had the same thing. And I had one person say to me like, "What's a DT?" And I said, "Yeah, me." I said, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, but no team's got like a brand like of initials." And I went, "Okay." I said, "Let's go to the Bundesliga." I said, "Who's RB Leipzig?" And he was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Red Bull."
The thing that's all over there, yeah.
It's a brand. What more? Look, times have changed.
Yeah,
times have changed. Do you know what I mean? And I got a lot of respect for the teams in non-league that have been there for decades and doing what they do, and they are non-league. But you've got to realize that there's clubs now coming through the scene that want to be a part of that. And if you've got teams that are able to bring social media and highlight these leagues in a scale that they can only imagine, why stand in the way of it? Why have a problem with it? Because it's benefiting everybody.
You know what I think it is though? I think it's that dinosaur mentality that people are still involved in. Like, oh, it's got to be traditional. It's got to be like proper city or town named after the club and all the rest of it now. And obviously, you've been faced with it with AFTV as well, because the whole fan media versus journalists, that was a debate, and probably still an ongoing debate for ages. But
that's always been a debate, and it's just look, at the end of the day, and this is the thing, is that I've been very open-minded with a lot of stuff, and the people that I've spoke to this year, there's some people within non-league who are unbelievable, and they've done nothing but help me all the way, and they've advised me, guided me, told me what to do, not to do, where to go, where not to go, what to say, because I'm me, I don't change. I walk into a room and I just start laughing. I'm like, all right, how you doing? Yeah, that's me. Yeah. And a lot of people look at me like, what the hell? Who's this guy? And it's like, but that's me. I won't change. And I won't change my character and who I am. And, I just think that, they should, open their arms a little bit more to the new world, shall we say? Because or not, social media and football is huge. You only have to go, you only have to go to another FA Cup game, right? And you look at Marine getting drawn against Tottenham, right? Now, because of the situation we find ourselves in, social media has secured that club for a very, very long time, because they were able to sell virtual match tickets and all these type of things that you would never have been able to do if there wasn't social media.
Exactly.
Exactly. So because of that, they were able to raise hundreds of thousands of pounds, which will now keep that club a club for generations. And that's what it's about. So I don't, I've seen when it was announced that we're in this cup competition, I see a couple of people kind of turn their nose up a bit like, oh, what's this and that? And I love it. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, because if by the end of this, I've got your respect, I've done my job.
Yeah.
Foremost, that's what I want. I want you to respect my team. And I'll tell you something, people are going to be very surprised when they come up against us, and they're going to realize that we ain't this little team from down here and we're going to be a walkover, or they'll see.
Yeah.
So we're relishing it. We're relishing it. Me, myself, I'm relishing it as a manager to come up against some proper, actual like non-league managers, UEFA A and B licensed, and there's me.
Could you imagine, like, it's you coming up against these guys that have been in non-league for years and all the rest of it, clubs that have been around longer than we've probably both been alive together, and there's you coming along and just like, yeah.
I love it. Listen, I think it's brilliant. And at the end of the day, why not? Because, in some of the comments I see this week, some were saying, why have a problem with it? If they bring a profile to the league and they, showcase this event and get people involved, why not? Let them in, especially with hashtag not in there, So at the end of the day, the teams that we're playing, you're talking about established non-league teams, but yet my team, when you come to social media, more subscribers, more followers, and that's the team account, not mine.
Yeah.
My personal account is like, that's through the roof, that's a different level, but the team one that we built separately to separate DT the person and DT the team is what I wanted to do, was separate the two. So, in a social media presence, we've got more of a presence than all of them. So what we want to do is go in there, showcase the league, showcase the other teams, see some of the good players on show, not just for us, but for them. And see where it takes us.
Okay. We'll be doing some scouting as well at the same time, yeah?
Yeah, of course, man.
I already know. This guy, he loves the scouting mission.
Hey, listen, come on now. Look, listen, if you wanna be a part of the project, you want to be a part of what we're building, then by all means, next season, we've already got a development squad in place which is for 16 to 18-year-olds. The whole squad's in place, management, assistant manager, location, affiliation, everything's already put in place and done. So I will have my development team next season, and we're going to give, 16 to 18-year-olds a pathway into non-league football and to play men's football at a good level, to see how tough it actually is, because there's a few of the young boys that, have come from Premier League academies and that kind of stuff, and they get treated differently. Yeah, they need to see what it's like when they get kicked 10 foot up in the air a few times as well. So, do you know what I mean? It's look, at the end of the day, it's all going to be learning. And if we can make a pro out of someone, mate, I'll look at that like they're my own child. I'd be so proud of that. I'll be so proud of that. And that's the ultimate dream. Hashtag have done it, with the lad that went to Northampton. That plays there. So why not? Because there's so much talent out there.
Could you imagine that? Like you're seeing, you go on this player's bio and he's at I don't know, a Division 2 club or something like that, and then underneath it's like playing at DTFC. Could you imagine that? That's crazy. When you go to someone's wiki page, you're like, clubs that they played for.
It's crazy to think about it. So we've got that. We've got a reserve team as well. And we're in the process of
playing real life Football Manager. Is that what you're trying to do? Like just set up your whole. Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm doing a whole lot, man. I'm doing it all. So, I'm in the process of talking about a ladies' team as well. So we're in the process of just dealing with that and finalising a few things. So that will kind of be the step next season in terms of that, and progressing the first team as well. But we don't know what the situation is with that at the moment, and I can't really say much more because nobody kind of knows what's going on, if there's going to be restructuring, moving, awards, whatever the hell it is. Nobody knows, so I can't really say nothing until I know. But we know where we want to go and what we want to do, and all we can do is just sit tight. We've got the basis in place. We've got some of the best facilities in non-league. Where we play at Harlow and everything else. So we've got everything there. We've got everything that we need to succeed and go further. So yeah, it's about developing the club next year, get those 3 extra teams in. And then after that, I suppose the next step down the next few years will be to have children's teams right from like 6 up to 16
teams,
dealing with that. And then ultimately, the end goal is to have our own stadium. So, we're actively, on alert if one ever does become available. But we're very happy where we are at Harlow. It's not, something that we're rushing. We don't need to find a stadium today or tomorrow or next week or next year. If it's 10 years, 15 years, so be it. When the time's right, everyone will see.
Because I didn't think it was going to take like this football malarkey that serious. Like obviously I've seen it from the Blood Brothers series, which I'm getting to next, but I've seen it from that, and I was for obviously divided away from AFTV, create your own team. But I thought it was just for that series. But now, by the sounds, like you're creating your own like Salford City. Do you know what I mean? In that sense, like what them man have done there.
Listen, at the end of the day, we've got a couple of people on board that are silent, and they're silent for a reason. And yeah, we've got everything behind us to project us to another level that we want to go. So everything's in place, and ultimately it's what we do on the pitch to how far we go. So these are the first steps. I never thought it would be like this. Never. Not in my wildest dreams. I had no intention in any way, shape or form. And this is why when people say to me about DTFC and whether I'm going to change the name and this, that, the other. No, I'm not going to change the name first and foremost. I said because it's more recognized around the world than some established clubs that have been around for decades. I said we're getting more views on videos than some championship clubs, League One clubs, League Two clubs. The most watched video that I've been involved in whilst manager has had over 1 million views.
Mad.
So at the end of the day, yeah, the network's there. So why not use it and try and create something? I want to create a legacy. I want to create something for my children so that when I'm not here, it passes down through generations, and it's something. And I had this conversation with a few people because they said to me, how far do you think you could go? And I said, well, look, I said, when Arsenal were found, 1886, everything else, when Man United were found, or Liverpool, or you would, the people that found them and created these clubs, if you would have said to them at them times, in 150 years, your club is still going to be going, it's going to be global, this big thing around the world, billion-pound businesses or whatever, these people would have been like, shut up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know where you're going to go. And I'm not one of these that will let somebody laugh at my dreams and think I can't do it. So ultimately, where do I want this team to be? In 150 years' time, I want this team to be one of the biggest in the world. And why not? Why not?
I think dream big, man. As you said, why not? When you when we're not here, and then people can chop this up and flipping use this as archive footage and like, DT said this, that in 150 years' time, he wants these asked for. Imagine that. Imagine like less than. Do you know what I mean? Imagine your 2 teams playing. We all know you're a beloved Arsenal fan. You can see it in the shirts in the back there. Imagine Arsenal, your team, playing DTFC, literally your team. Like, imagine that.
What? Do you know what? The amount of people that ask me this all the time and say, who would I support?
I support myself. You're going to say that, innit? You're going to say that.
My, yeah. I'm not going to demonetize your video. Don't worry. But at the end of the day, the way I see it is that, yeah, man, it's, look, for this club to get to the ultimate, I won't be around. Do you know what I mean? But I want a legacy, man. I want something to leave. I want to leave a mark on something. And the bonus that we have in this day and age, in comparison to 130, 40, 50 years ago, is that we can relay our thoughts and feelings and dreams, and it will be there for everyone to see in 100 years' time, 150 years' time. You know, we don't know what the dreams and the ambitions were when all these great clubs in the world were found over 100 years ago. There's nothing to show that. So this, again, is something where social media could play a massive part. You could look back and go, oh, look at that DTFC, man. One of the biggest clubs doing this, doing that. See the guy that found that? Yeah, look, this is what he said in 2021. But you can go back to it. Why not dream big, man? Why not dream big? I'm sorry, but if anybody wants to laugh, if anybody thinks you got no chance, don't ever say no chance to me. Because
I know you'll bring it up and be like, yeah, I told you.
Listen, I've had players that have told me there's no chance they would sign for me. And then I've sat there looking at them whilst they're putting on their shirt, and I'm like, told you. Listen, it is what it is, man. Nothing in life is like, you can achieve anything you want in life. You can achieve anything. Just, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are. Yeah. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. Your dream can seem the most like insane dream ever. If you're a young boy growing up being a footballer and you think you're going to be better than Lionel Messi, you're going to be better than Ronaldo, yeah, keep thinking that. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Because when Cristiano Ronaldo was growing up and he was like, I want to be the best in the world, he would have had people saying, yeah, you got no chance. Yeah, you got no chance. Lionel Messi was told that he was too small when he was a kid.
Imagine that. Imagine the coach or probably coaches who was telling him that. They must have taken some serious L like with that.
Mate, but this is what I'm saying. Don't ever let anyone tell you differently, man. Seriously, don't, man. If you're a young person watching this or whatever, just go and chase your dreams, man. That's what I say. And that's it.
The last thing I want to talk to you about is, obviously, you mentioned earlier about Blood Brothers 3, because obviously he was filming at the game, he was filming for that. So yeah, what's going on with that, man? Obviously, you can't tell too much, but just talk to me as much as you can about what's going on.
My word, there's some close-up footage on that. Woo! Jesus Christ. It is, you know what, to put it simply, it's very like, you know, the all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's in that kind of, you know, kind of way. So the cameras have been following us around, following our journey. From when we beat AFTV, the camera was rolling for Series 3 from the moment we won. So there's loads of things before we went to Harlow and we got a ground share with them. We was actually viewing somewhere else. I'm not going to say too much, but it wasn't to ground share. But I'll let you see the video, where we went, what happened, and everything behind it. There's a few surprises, few appearances. It's just very fly on the wall, very behind the scenes. You get to see some of the stuff that you wouldn't normally see. You get to see a lot of the dressing room stuff, because when I've been releasing my highlights, we've just been focusing on the game, not the halftime dressing room kind of stuff, or anything, because we've kind of been saving it for that. And you know, you'll get to see the arguments. You'll get to see, you know, a few things thrown around the changing room, not just by me, but by a player, or, you know, but it's all love. At the end of the day, everyone loves each other, but we all want the same thing: win.
Yeah.
And if it's not going right, someone's not doing something like they should be doing. We're all open and honest enough, and we're all big men. We tell each other, and we say it straight. So, yeah, it's very, very fly on the wall. You get to see a lot that goes on behind the scenes. You get to see how much we've been working behind the scenes to grow this club. You know, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch, in terms of the brands and the marketing deals and sponsors and all this kind of thing. I haven't stopped since football stopped.
Mad.
So, you know, once we can announce a lot of the stuff, there's some things that we've got for this team, you know, moving forward, that will blow people's minds.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And it's all part of it. And the only reason why it ain't come out yet is because we're waiting to just add a few little pieces involved, because the season's been so, you know, stop-start.
Yeah.
It's kind of, there's just a few little bits missing. You know, if they wanted to just show, you know, about 4 or 5 episodes of everyone kicking off, then we'll be fine.
There's plenty enough to go around with that.
You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We've done a lot of backstories on some of the players as well. So you're going to get an in-depth look at some of our players, some of their backgrounds, where they're from.
That's
you know, there's some stories within our team from players that, you know, have come from really tough backgrounds. You know, areas where you're seeing problems at the moment, and where you're seeing, you know, young boys follow a certain path.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is take them away from that path. And we're trying to give them a career within football, and a pathway from being on the street, selling drugs, carrying knives, all this kind of stuff. You know, people don't know, because I don't advertise it all the time, but I'm regularly going around to young offenders' prisons, and I'm giving talks in them. And I'm doing that with Premier League footballers. And, you know, I've been to obviously before COVID, things changed a little bit. So, but the last prison that I went to, we went to Wood Hill in Milton Keynes, young offenders prison there. And we had a load of boys all come forward, and, you know, they were selected by like the guards there and everything. I nearly called them screws then. Like, I'm going to call them the guards. It's
You
know what I mean? It's the old slang that
nearly slipping the tongue there. Yeah.
The prison guards, they select them, they come out, and there was a wide range. And, you know, there's so many things that you don't realize. Like, we can't physically ask them why they're in prison. They've got to tell you. So you've got to immediately start to try and build a relationship with them for them to open up, because the moment you get there, you're facing 15, 16, 17-year-old boys, and instantly they're just like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, so what's your name? And you're like, you're right. And they're like, sup. And just like, you're like, right. So how do you get a conversation without being able to say, you know what I mean? So you've got to try and
go get them to open up, sort of thing.
You've got to get them to open up. And, you know, eventually we did. And the contrasting stories are just, you know, so different. There's one boy in there that's in for loads of petty crimes. And he's already like, oh, I'm out in a few months' time, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got another boy who, there was one boy in particular, he was the most intelligent boy there. Like, his head was so screwed on. Like, talking about what he wanted to do when he left school, university, all this kind of stuff. He had his whole pathway. It's like, blows your mind what he was thinking. And then you're like, how long you got left? What you got to do? And he's like, 16 years.
What?
And then instantly, and you're like, wow. And then it's like, okay.
Well, wrong place sort of thing, was it?
Oh, yeah. And it's like, and then you say like, well, it must be something serious if you've got that long. And then that's when he'll turn around and he'll say, yeah, stab someone up, kill them. And I'm like, wow. And then you get the stories out of them. And like, some of the stories are just mad. And some of the stories are like some of the killings are so senseless. Like, they're so petty. You know, what did you do that for? Because you jacked someone's watch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you'll get a couple of bags for, and the money will be gone. Because you'll go and buy something, you'll post for Instagram with your Louis belt on or whatever it is, and think you're rolling, and then next thing your money's gone, and then you've got to go and jack someone else. And it's a never-ending cycle. And it's just senseless stuff, man. Senseless. Do you know what I mean? And that's something close to me, man. That kind of stuff, because, you know, if I can turn one boy's life around, if I can get one boy off the street, if I can stop one boy, you know, putting a knife into somebody else, or then I'll see it as just one thing that I've been able to do. You know what I mean? We can't save everyone. We can't help everyone. If I can help at least one person, then I feel that I've done something for society. I feel that I've done something to, you know, to look on and say, yeah, I'm proud of that. I did that. So, yeah, ultimately, you know, that's what the development squad's for and the reserves are for, and to try and give some youngsters something, give them a pathway.
An opportunity,
yeah, an opportunity. That's the main thing. Because a lot of these kids, they don't get opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I've noticed as well, this is one thing about a lot of non-league teams, for example, is obviously they have certain ways of scouting players, looking at players, or this and that and the other. If you're a young boy that's got talent and you just want to get off the street and play football and try and make something, 9 times out of 10, you can't approach these clubs and say, yeah, here's a video of me, I can play, or that gets put in the bin. They're not interested. They're not interested. But with us, we'll look at things. We'll see if someone sends me something and they're like, yeah, I'm a baller. Here's my video.
Yeah.
I'm straight. I'll message them back and go, no, you're not.
Well, sometimes people need that brutal honesty anyway. So, you know.
Hey, listen, man, tough love, innit? At the end of the day, it's like, do you know how many times, right? I've been watching my youngest boys, and you see all the parents on the sideline, and you see them shouting at their children like they're Diego Maradona.
Yeah,
and I'm looking and I'm like, just tell them. Just tell them, please. Come on, man.
Man.
You know what I mean? But nah, to be fair though, a lot of these youngsters, man, like my little boy, my youngest boy is nearly 6, and like the boys that play there, there's some of them that they're not got the most like ability, but they're having fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're enjoying them. So yeah, let the ones that can play, and let the others that just want to have fun. They're young, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but when you get to those little older ages,
yeah.
be truthful.
I was gonna, in fact, let me ask you this: How does your kids view you in terms of what you do? Because like, do they say? I always picture this like, you know, at school where they do the whole like, oh, my daddy's this, my daddy's that, and like, the kids say, oh, my daddy's a YouTuber, like you might know him, he's DT. Like, is it like that?
Yeah. My
always make me wonder, like, what they're gonna say. Like, my daddy's.
Mate, my youngest boy, my youngest boy is 5. He's like a twin of me, and that boy, he's like, he sleeps with a football in his bed. Man. Like, this boy just doesn't stop playing, man, and he's just, you know, he loves everything. I don't let him watch. Don't get me wrong. There's certain videos he don't watch. Believe me.
Like, Daddy went all the mad one today. Nah, allow it.
He's always been like, yeah, Dad, can I watch your AFTV? And no, not today. Not today. You're not watching that one.
Daddy's a bit naughty in this one.
Yeah, not this one. You stay away from this one. Yeah, leave that one alone. Let's find a game that Arsenal won comfortably, and I know that I'm going to be happy. You can watch that one. So there's like a little playlist, especially for him. It's like, but yeah, he's cool.
Do you ever do your interviews with them in mind, though? Do you ever think like, I can't say too much because like they're gonna watch it back and
No, do you know what? Because like I've got control over what my kids watch in that sense, so I know that they're not going to be watching things that they shouldn't be watching.
Yeah,
and I'm not one of these that allows my kids to spend all their time on YouTube and computers and stuff. I get my kids out, active, play football, do, you know, even if you're in the garden on the trampoline, you know, my garden's like a local park. There's swings, slides, trampolines, football goals. Like, you've got everything.
You're balling out here, man. Listen to you.
Listen, there's a video of me, yeah? Listen, don't talk about my back garden, yeah? Because
you said it.
No, but listen, no, I'm saying, but there's a video of me at the start of lockdown, and I just bought one of them ball machines. You know them? Yeah. Okay. I was in my back garden testing it out. Bruv, I didn't realize how high it goes and how like fast it is. So there's a video of me on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And my kids are behind and you can hear them laughing with me. And there's like a goal and I went to shoot it at the goal on full whack. Now, I didn't realize full whack is like over 150 odd miles an hour off 2 wheels.
Yeah,
so I put it in, it went over the goal and it literally obliterated my next door neighbor's fence. Mate.
So you own him a fence now then, yeah.
Mate, the whole fence just went bang, and then all it was silence, and all you can hear is me go on like under my breath. Oh shh. And like all you can hear is my kids in the background bending up laughing. I'm like, oh no, what have I done, man? So yeah, I absolutely annihilated my next door neighbor's fence, man. I had to go and sort out a new fence panel and everything. And then I ended up then taking it to Harlow and testing it out on our goalkeeper. He really got put through the net. So yeah, man. I don't really let them watch things. My oldest boy, listen, man, he's a big boy. He's nearly 21 years old. Yeah. He just gets on with his life and does his thing. He's like, listen, what my dad does is what he does. What I do is what I do. What he does is what he does.
Yeah.
I leave him to do his thing, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's just focusing on his career and doing what he's doing. And yeah, man, my kids are all good, man. Just bring the season on now, man. Let's get these games on.
Yeah, man, we need some football now. I'm not long to go now. What, 6 days? Less than a week now until we can actually like officially come out of.
Yeah. We're back in training next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Oh boy, gosh, time's flying, man. Hour and a half, and I didn't swear once. I know, this is good. Listen, are you a changed man or what? What's going on?
I'm changed man.
So See what lockdown's done to DT. Oh, wow.
No. It might be something to do with the fact that there might be certain organisations watching me.
Oh, right. Hi, by the way. Hi.
I'm on my best behaviour. I'm not bringing anybody into disrepute. So yeah, I'm on my best behaviour. Do you know what I mean? I said what I need to say about Spider-Man, and that's literally. That's all it is. That's all I need to say on that subject. But it is what it is, man. It's been fun talking, man. It's been good.
It has indeed, man. I'm glad a lot of it's been cleared up now. If you have not watched it back already, either mine or DT channel or both, watch the game back. We might get to see Baresi's version of events, but things have been settled now by the powers that be. Plenty of games to come up now with as well from DT's point of view with the cups, both cup competitions and friendlies. So again, if you want to see DTFC in action, then by all means pop along and show your support.
Yeah. So every game's going to be filmed. We might be doing a few of them live as well. So for everyone that's not allowed into the grounds and stuff, we're going to put some out there and you know, let everyone watch a bit of football, man.
That's it. Again, we need to be watching this. Thank God it's only a week to go. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this, people, just again drop it a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, thank you, DT, for joining me. And glad to hear about all your future ambitions as well, man. You're a very ambitious guy. I like to hear that sort of stuff. So hope it all comes true, bro.
Pleasure, man. Thank you.
Nah, thank you, bro. Peace.